Hey, what's up guys? Gons here with this week's word of encouragement. It comes from Mark chapter 2, verses 21 and 22. Here's what it says. No one sews a piece of unshrunk cloth on an old garment. If he does, the patch tears away from it, the new from the old, and a worse tear is made. And no one puts new wine into old wineskin. If he does, the wine will burst the skin and the wine is destroyed. And so are the skins, but new wine is for fresh wineskins. Well, it's the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. And I thought this passage was appropriate for the turning of the calendar. So, no one sews a piece of unshrunk cloth on an old garment. The illustration here is pretty clear. There's danger or lack of security if you try to put something new on something old. Now, the illustration uses a garment and its patch. But the same principle applies for wine and wineskin, which the passage goes on to talk about here. If you put new wine in an old wineskin, the wineskin would expand under the pressure of fermentation. So basically the wineskin would burst. And so that's why it says later on, if he does, the wine will burst the skins and the wine is destroyed, and so are the skins. But new wine is for fresh wineskins. And again, Jesus' point is pretty clear by these examples. You can't fit his new life into the old forms. Jesus himself did this throughout his ministry. For example, he traded fasting for feasting. Yeah, he fasted, but ultimately, towards the end of his ministry, it was all about feasting together. He represented grace over law. And there are many other examples. And I think this newness is not something that Jesus was just talking about for his day. I think it continues throughout the centuries, throughout the generations. And if you think about religious institutions, even doctrine to some degree, not core doctrine, but trendy doctrines that are on the fringes that cause division within the church, these religious establishments would not hold up with Jesus and his power of renewing and bringing about something new into the world. Because the whole point here that Jesus makes is that what he brought is something new, something fresh, something that's going to be perpetually unique and clean and undefilable. He didn't come to patch up something that was old. And this is what salvation is all about. So don't get the message wrong. Jesus isn't saying destroy the old, for example, the old law. He rather fulfills it, and he makes something new, which is the new covenant. And in the same way, be encouraged that the Holy Spirit can fill you up every single day, brand new. It's not something that, it happened when I was saved and that was it. No, it's new. It's every single day. And this time period where we flip the calendar from one year to another, it's a great time to remind ourselves and be encouraged about the fact that God's salvation is always fresh. It's never tainted. It's always going to be new. It's always going to have that fresh, clean feeling to it. And so this week, every day you wake up, remember that we are renewed. We are regenerated. But this newness doesn't fit in the old. The Holy Spirit can't operate in a system or in habits that are of old. So through the spiritual renewing comes the renewing of your mind and ultimately your walk. So as you go into the new year here, the first week of this year, be encouraged. Know that new wine must be put into new wineskin. For us to operate what the Holy Spirit wants us to do, we must ourselves reflect that new wineskin. Have an awesome week. God bless.